today we are here to speak to one of the major, or I'll say the legends in the photography business here in Ghana. Can you introduce yourself to us quickly?
So my name is Justice Yao.
Okay.
And I'm the branch called JPixel Studios.
JPixel Studios.
Yes.
Okay.
So recently I rebranded to JPixel Studios and Canvas Backdrops.
Oh, okay. Even before we go into who you are and everything, can you tell us a little about the rebranding, why you rebranded?
Alright, so I was supposed to register my business long ago, but due to one or two reasons, I had to wait. So upon getting to the registry, I realized someone had already registered JPixel Studios.
Okay.
And I had to add my other business to it, which is painting of canvas backdrops.
Oh, okay.
So I had to do JPixel Studios and canvas backdrops.
Okay, that's nice. So I believe this backdrop is one of your handiworks.
Yes, this is one of my works.
Oh, okay. All right. So tell us, who is JPixels? Where did you grow up? How did you grow up? What influenced your channel into photography?
Okay, JPixel Studios is an Ashaiman boy who grew up here in Ashaiman. Well, my inspiration came out of the course I did. I did visual arts, and visual art is more of drawing, bringing images together to create an artwork. So after senior high school, I furthered on to the Polytechnic, where I offered graphic design.
Okay.
And in the graphic design second year, we did photography as part of our courses. So fast forward, right after national service, I realized the graphic design was not coming as I expected, so I had to switch to the photography aspect.
Okay. So how is photography in Ghana? How would you say the business is in Ghana? Is it accepted as you would want it to be? But first of all, I would want to know from your perspective how your parents accepted the news when you told them you wanted to be a photographer. How was it taken? How was the atmosphere?
Well, I didn't really tell them what I wanted to do. You know, all along they thought I would join the military, but then I tried 1, 2, it didn't pick for me, so I went to school. Then later on, no one knew, they didn't really know the courses involved.
Okay.
What I studied. So one day I was like, no, I want to do photography. So I spoke to my mom, and she was like, okay, I don't have money. I told her, I know you don't have money, but borrow me this amount. This is what I want to do. And then quickly, you know, our parents, they didn't understand photography. Yes, because if you tell your mother or father you want to go into photography, they'll be like, excuse me, to let me translate into a no problem. But I knew what I wanted.
Yes.
So I had to follow my dreams.
Yeah.
Let me throw it back a little. When I completed GHS, there was a carpenter around my area, so I decided to visit him one day. And before we closed that day, I came back home with a small kitchen stove, and my dad was like, "Hey, tell me and the town will buy my value, craftsmanship mathematics." I was like, "No, this is I want to do art. That's what I want to do." And he had no option than to accept it.
Oh, okay. The purpose of this interview is to encourage people who want to go into crafts like this, like photography, barbering, and all that. And we know that here in Africa, here in Ghana, people do not respect this our business. So, what are some of the challenges you faced when you were coming into the photography business?
I'd say the major one is to acquire equipment.
Okay.
Yes, equipment are very expensive, and it takes a lot of determination and discipline to save money to get equipment. And with relation to people, I quite remember I went for an event and I was supposed to take a shot from an angle, and there were these ladies, right? And I told them, "Oh, madam, please let me stand in front of you and then capture this moment." And she looked at me from down to top and was like why? So to let peace reign, I had to move from that side and then capture my moments. And before you pick your equipment and leave the house, people will be like, and I was then or patch and then we are china we. And I do hear all those stuff, but I told myself, look, this is what I want to do, and I have to focus on my focus.
Yeah, you have to focus on your focus. How has the business treated you? Does it fetch you good money to sustain you as a young man coming up?
I'll say it's 50-50.
Okay.
But sometimes when a client books you and you tell them this is your price, they'll be like, why should I pay this amount for pictures keke?
Yes.
And it pushes us down a lot. But then day in, day out, I get something from it.
Yes, and from my perspective, I think that this job is one of the most important aspects of events that people don't take seriously and into consideration. What is your perspective? What do you think about that? Should people here understand that photography is a major and important part of events?
Yes, I think people should begin to adapt and accept that photography is very, very important. But not even photography only, the videography aspect as well. Because one, if you organize an event and you don't have memories of it, how do you talk to a big brand to support you? How would you explain to your kids that, oh, at this particular age, this is what I did?
That's true. So now let's go back a bit. When you acquired your equipment, how long did it take for you to become confident and know that yes, I'm a professional, I can take jobs and then charge for it?
Well, one thing I always say is the equipment doesn't make me, I make myself.
Yes.
Because if I should get the equipment and I don't learn it, I wouldn't be able to hit my chest and say I'm a professional in this. I can have maybe one camera and a flash and I'll still become a professional with it. I wouldn't need so much equipment to say, okay, now I'm a professional. When I'm called to do a particular job, I would be able to do it.
Okay. So to encourage somebody out there, what was the time when you took your first job? Did you have to have everything you needed, or for me, I had just a camera and then a flash, and I was able to take a paying job? What was the point where you were able to take a paying job?
Well, I think even before I could acquire a camera, I rented a camcorder.
Okay.
And then I had a point to shoot. So I went for an event. People were just looking at me because I was holding the video camera here, and then the left hand was also clicking. And after the event, my elder brother and my hero, they were like, how did they start from? I told them we did it as part of our course in school.
Okay.
Before I could acquire an equipment. So I only had a camera, no flash.
Okay.
The first camera I bought was Canon 1200 with the top flash.
Yeah.
There was no external flash, so I was just firing. So I got a t-shirt printing job, which I had to buy a flash out of it. So that was where everything started for me.
So do people, when you go to events, do people consider the equipment you have in respect to paying you, how much they should pay you? Do people look at those things, or do people look at to feel like, okay, I have to pay you this amount, or you have to reduce it?
Well, first of all, before you even get into your event, I would have taken 70% of the amount.
Okay.
So all that matters is the outcome I give you. Because already you've seen my work on other people's WhatsApp status and even on my Instagram. So when I come with maybe a point to shoot camera, you can't tell me, I was not supposed to pay for this. But most people look down on that. I remember I was to shoot a music video for one girl, and I went with my Sony A6000. She was just looking at me when I brought the camera out, and I was like, I don't want something. So I see you should say like, who use some camera? And I was like, how would you actually do this? Like people do underrate this stuff, but it's up to you.
Yeah. So how do you stand your grounds in terms of payments and attitude with clients? Yes.
Alright, so what I do is I take 70% payments before I come for the event. And when I finish with your work, the post-production, when I'm done with it, I take the remaining balance. But some become very difficult.
Yeah.
So I intend to tell them this is the number of days your work will last on my system, because day in, day out we work for other people and we need space to cover up. So with that mindset, and I started bringing in contracts.
Okay.
So when you sign, after that you do this.
Wow.
And one thing I also took upon myself is, if you are to even pay me everything, I also make sure I deliver.
Okay.
If you delay me 1 year, I also delay you 1 year. Though it's not a good thing to do, but we just have to create that rapport, because I can't come with a crew and then you expect them to go empty-handed. Yes.
And have you ever encountered people who think they feel entitled? They think you should work for them for free.
Yes, I've come across a lot of people. And I also tell them, look, I don't do that.
Okay.
Because when my equipment gets stopped, I can't come to you to take money from you. Even when I tell you, you won't care.
Yeah.
Yes, because people don't care.
Yes.
They really don't care about you.
Yeah, it's true. So what do you do? What's apart from photography and the canvas, what are the other things? I know you do wedding and events. What other?
So I do t-shirt printing. T-shirt as well. Yes. And a little of graphic design.
And the videography itself, which we do music video, I do film. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
These are the major.
Which are some of the major music videos you say that you shot that out there?
Okay, I shot a video for Charleston, which aired on Max TV. Yes, and other stations are also showing it. And there's a Nigeria guy I shot a music video for, Playboy Tony.
Okay.
And other two Nigerians. Yes, I've shot a couple of music videos that are doing well.
Okay, so how do you market yourself? How do you sell yourself for people to know that this is what you do?
I use social media a lot.
Okay.
I use social media a lot. But some years back, I paused on social media because I realized I had to work on myself. I had to really work on myself, because if you are not able to meet the industry standards, you wouldn't get the gigs you expect to get.
So in working on yourself, how do you mean?
Working on myself, my character, how I relate with people, and then my delivery.
Okay.
Yes. And then I had to learn more into the softwares that I'm using, and then into the videography and photography as well.
Okay. So the character parts, I would want us to explore that a bit. I know that it's very important with your clients. What characteristics do you think you have that is giving you more clients?
Okay, I relate with my clients very well, especially maybe I can crack jokes for them to feel okay. Sometimes you go for an event and you realize that the bride, her mood will be some way, but the way in which I approach, like I encourage them that look, no matter what happens, it is your day. So with that, we don't allow any other person to get into the room where the bride is. And when a client is angry and they are talking to me, I realize no, there's a reason to this. So I take my time, and then after everything, I tell them, look, this is what you did, and I was not happy about it. If I were to retaliate, you wouldn't be the bad person. I will be the bad person, because they will always say the client is always right.
And then what drives you, what motivates you to keep going? Because I know that this industry is tough in the society where we find ourselves. What keeps you going?
First of all, God inspires and motivates me a lot. Anytime I'm down, I tell him, God, this is what I'm going through, and you know it's not good for me, so please just keep me going. And one other thing is, I don't look down on myself, because if I should look down on myself, I give room to people to also do that.
As we continue this interview, make sure this is Efo Selassie TV, and this is the Made in Ghana Product of the Week segment. We are speaking to J Pixels, one of the best photographers here in Ghana. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like, hit the bell button, share your thoughts on photography if you're a photographer, if you've ever had any challenges, any interest in photography, share your thoughts in the comment section. Now let's talk about money. Yes, money is good. Yeah, money is good. What are some of your charges? Averagely, let's say I'm a client, I want to have a wedding. Averagely, what are some of your charges?
Alright, so for the combo is the engagement, wedding, photography and video. Mine starts from 4,500.
4,500.
So like it depends on my location.
Okay.
Yes, and even with that, there are ups and downs with it.
Okay.
That's my silver package, and with my bronze, that's my bronze package. With the silver package, it's 5,500.
Okay.
And every package has what you get from it. Well, all I want to share with your viewers and the world at large is, let's appreciate photographers and videographers, because they play a very important role in our lives. Because without them, we wouldn't see what happened on your wedding day, a birthday, maybe even a funeral. Like, yes, every event. So let's give them the credit they need, and then tip them as well. If they charge you 5,000, give them 5,500.
Yeah, it's true. You're ready for yourself. We are in the digital age right now, and everything is done with photography, videography, and all that. So make sure you support photographers wherever they are. Whichever photographer you know, support them in that regard.
For WhatsApp, my contact is 0244094497, and my call number is 0554703383. And on Instagram, you can get me at jpixelstudios_canvas backdrops, and then on YouTube, jpixel studios.
All right, thank you for watching, and have a blessed week.